Good morning, everybody. It's Courageous Conversations, and I am so delighted that Mike Pickett has decided to join us. Thank you so much for coming all the way that you did.
It's all good. It's all good. It was a pleasure and an honor to be invited to be on the show.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
The thing that is most interesting... Well, firstly, everybody, if you're joining, let us know that you're joining, because what I'm here to do is I'm going to do a little bit of sharing, because, sharing is caring. And if this is the type of thing that resonates with you, I want you to, just... Hello, Patty. I want you to, share it with other people, And as I'm sharing, Mike, hi, Kevin, my hubby, who's in the room.
Hi, Kevin.
I'm glad he's here. He was busy away, and I thought, oh, he's not going to tune in, but he did. And the thing that I'm most interested to have everyone do is that if you have been the person that has the most toxic relationship that you have had is with yourself, and you've broken up with that part of you, share this, because this is the kind of thing that is going to possibly inspire people, possibly have people, hi Daniel, possibly have people change choices that they're making. So that is what we're doing here. Nice to see some people joining us, and tell us a little bit. Where did you hail from? Where did you travel down from here to Toronto, the big city?
I came all the way from Fort Erie.
God, I am so honored that you did that, because we could have done, an online thing, but it's just not as fun or as exciting. Live is so cool.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because the show's all about connection,
right?
And there's a certain loss we have in connection with all the technology and stuff. It's great that I can do a show with somebody who's in Portugal or something, right?
Which is what I sometimes do, exactly, yeah.
But I honestly think, and it's also just, it was fun. I just turned my phone off and got on the GO train and got on the subway and, just had some time with my thoughts and did some writing and some reading.
Right.
And yeah, it was good. It was a good trip.
It's a good trip. And kind of, I imagine for you, it must also be a kind of a cool thing to be able to just come into the city, because...
Not really.
No, not really?
Those who know me well know that I always say that Toronto is like my parents' house. I don't mind visiting, but I don't want to live
But you're
there.
out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin says center up this. All right, here we go, babe. Hopefully that's better. He's a camera guy. So let's ask you a little bit about your journey. So what is the superhero mission? Or the hero mission?
The hero mission?
Yeah, because I love your T-shirt, and your book's called The Hero Mission. I love it. I love aligning myself with people that are interested in impacting the planet in positive ways. Tell me about your particular version of that.
So my particular version, The Hero Mission, and my book out now on Amazon, Invisible Capes.
Invisible Capes.
It's called,
I'm loving that.
A guide to unleashing your superpowers within.
Okay.
It's just a really, I guess, to
Hey, Linda.
give it the most straightforward version of what the Hero Mission is that inside all of us we have a superhuman potential that a lot of us keep unlocked, and if we unlock that potential, then we become the best version of ourselves, and the best version of ourselves is the superhero of your world. You're able to help more, give more, do more, have more. Like, it's just at that deeper level. So,
what did you unlock in yourself? Like you said, your tagline that just really, really did it for me was, breaking up with the most toxic relationship, which was you. So tell me a little bit about, what you unlocked in you.
So I went. So many of us have heard that famous line, that famous quote, you can't love somebody else until you love yourself.
Which I sometimes take issue with, by the way, but it's sort of interesting.
Okay.
But I do fundamentally agree with that. Yeah.
I agree with the fundamental principle, but I never understood what the hell it meant before, about 3.5 years ago. I just come out of a relationship, and it didn't end well. Both of us were at fault for things that we brought into the relationship and stuff. But I sort of sat with myself.
Did you guys bring in like emotional issues and unresolved baggage?
A lot of that stuff.
Everyone can relate with unresolved baggage, getting into relationships and bringing crap that you don't want to be bringing. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got out of that relationship, and I just sat with myself one day and said, why am I dating the same girl?
Like over and over and over and over.
I always date the same woman. I'm always involved with the same woman over and over and
what's
over
that? What was
again.
that kind of woman? Sorry.
They needed my help. They needed saving.
Oh,
they needed the
so
most
you were into the
patient
rescue
guy.
mission.
They were like they needed me. It was a very ill version of a superhero, right? Where it's just like I'm just like, where's somebody I can save?
Okay. I call that codependency, which is it takes generosity and skews it. And just screws up with that great concept called being a generous human.
Well, there you go. So after that relationship, and I sat down with that thought, I came to a realization that I had never truly actually loved myself. And that's why, see, this is one of the interesting things that you'll find, and I find this with a lot of people I work with and a lot of people I talk to, is that when you put all your energy and focus and love, if I take love out of my heart, all the love out of my heart, and put it in another person, then if that person walks away or leaves or whatever happens, then I'm devastated. But if I hold that love inside and use it to fuel what I do for the other person, it's a whole different way to look at things. So I went on a journey of self-discovery because I was like, I don't love myself, so I got to really get in my head, in my heart, in my faith, in everything, and just see who I am. And start being happy with myself. So I went on this epic journey of I did glass walks. I did some really wild and crazy things.
Glass walks. Okay, wait a minute. What the hell's a glass walk? Ouch.
Yeah. Well, I've done.
But before you tell us, Patty, Michael Peach, and Carla Blackmore, and Linda Carlson says, being right in someone's energy changes the interaction. Love it. And also, Patty Klett says, unresolved baggage is my unresolved issue. That's funny. Yeah, absolutely. And Kevin, you know what? We're doing the best we can with the camera situation. So, you know, it's perfect.
Is that better, Kevin?
That's perfect.
Kevin's
It's fine.
good?
He's Mr. Perfect in the camera angle.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever.
That's okay. All right.
It's all good. So keep going. So
yeah.
so what's a glass walk? I'm curious.
So I've done like at warrior retreats. I've done aero breaks and steel rebar bends and board breaking, and what's the other one I did? Walking on hot coals, that whole thing. And then
why were you doing all that?
Just because it's a great mindset teacher. It really shows you that. Like my wife and I did an aero break in our wedding ceremony.
Interesting. So it's like it sounds to me like it's a way for you to kind of go, all right, this scares the shit out of me, but I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm going to be focused and okay about this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all those things I've ever done have all led me to, they just reinforce the fact that you're scared when it's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then once it's done, you're like, what was I worried about? Which is most things in life.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, I'm scared to wrestle that rabid grizzly bear. Yeah, it's probably not going to end well. But I'm scared to go back to school at a later age. I'm scared to break up with somebody. I'm scared to, well, guess what's on the other side? Joseph Campbell always said that the cave that holds the treasure we seek is the one we fear to enter, or something to those regards.
Yeah.
The cave we fear to enter holds the treasure we seek. I think that's the
cave
quote.
we fear to enter holds the treasure we seek. Yes, and I think that is right on. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Don, for joining us. You know, it's interesting because I think that every single person who walks the earth can relate to feeling afraid. And in our world, modern world, like in different countries, just living, just, you know, not having water, going to get water, you know, coping with war, coping with lack of freedom. These are all their tests. Here in this part of the world where we're so privileged, you know, we create these tests for ourselves. And because we can live a very safe life if we want to. That's very easy to do, generally speaking. I mean, we can
it doesn't evolve you.
Exactly.
That's the issue. That's why, and that's an interesting thing I was talking about with one of my friends the other day about why people come here from other countries, and you see other people in other parts of the world who all of a sudden just blow up the world, like and not not literally, but
Yeah.
they sort of all of a sudden they're the latest inventor, the latest big huge deal.
Amazing, right?
And it's because they don't have an option.
Before, yeah, right.
They don't have an option but to confront those fears.
That's
Where
right.
we're like, I'll just turn off my computer. I
That's
won't go to
right.
work. I won't phone that friend. I'm gonna stay in this
Just
pattern.
avoid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Avoid.
Yeah, and you're like, no, I'm gonna walk on some glass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break some freaking boards, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this thing. And I've done the board breaking thing. It freaked me right out. I was in do you know T. Harv Eker?
Yep.
Yeah, so I was in one of his Millionaire Mind intensives, which are really, I recommend them. They're really, really cool. Hey, Peter. Hey, Nadia. And what I experienced before doing that thing is like profound, like a fight, flight, freeze feeling. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to hurt my hand. But then you realize that focus is everything. Focus, and then once you get into telling yourself that it's okay to be hurt and that pain is going to actually not last and we can do this, it's powerful at the other side of it. It's powerful at the other side of it.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So on my whole thing of trying to find myself and fall in love with myself, I'd actually driven up to visit a friend in the military base in Petawawa, and on the way I stopped and saw a friend in Smith Falls. And we were talking about all the stuff we've done, the aero brakes. At one point, he held the world record on aero brakes. He broke 11 on his neck at once.
On his neck.
Yep. It's crazy. You can watch it on YouTube. It's amazing.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, you ever walked on glass? And I'm like, no.
Nope.
He's like, you wanna?
No.
All right.
All right.
I'm in.
And what did you, like, you guys got married and did that? Did it before or after, or what was part of the party?
So
okay, cool.
my wife and I actually met at a board breaking exercise when we weren't
already.
a couple.
Okay, yeah.
So we put a thing in our program for our wedding said breaking tradition, and me, her, the officiant, and the wedding planner are the only 4 people who knew what we were doing. So when the officiant goes behind this little lean-to and brings out like a bag with like safety goggles and 2 arrows, like people were losing their minds. But
when did you get married?
August 18th last year.
Oh my God, you're a newlywed.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, and that's why my wife and I got tattoos recently of little arrows, so we can always remember our commitment
Can I
to
see
each
it?
other.
Oh, it's so romantic. I think everybody. I think it's a romantic thing, a really romantic thing that you guys have done that is all about self-empowerment, but also in a commitment to be self-empowered together.
Yeah.
And I'm a relationship therapist, and I do a lot of couples therapy, and so this kind of thing, when I hear this, it's like it's saying we're going to be empowered in our own right, but we're going to be empowered and committed to empowerment together.
Yeah.
That is powerful. That is powerful.
Yeah.
When you talk about finding the superhero within yourself, which is the hero mission, I imagine.
Yeah.
I want you to tell people, step 1. What's step 1, man?
Well, step 1 starts with a great quote I always go to from Henry Ford. If you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right.
Okay.
So the first step is to think you can do it.
And what if they can't? What if they just, not can't, because they can't, but what if a person, because I encounter this all the time, anxiety disorders, people who are experiencing all kinds of, circular thinking, storytelling, basically are saying to themselves, I really cannot. Is there something that can get people to the place of believing that they can?
Yep.
Super putting you on the spot. Go for it.
No. A few things. One is monitor your self-talk.
Right. Start listening to your self-talk.
Start listening to the way you speak about yourself. If you keep calling, I'm dumb, I'm worthless, I'm an idiot, even as a joke, eventually what that builds into you is that your subconscious that you are dumb and you are a joke, and guess how hard that is to fight. You're going to be fighting. What goes on up here between your ears is the biggest battle you will ever have in your life.
Yeah.
And that's why people go on vacation and come back still miserable. That's why people do all these things and they're like, hey, I'm trying to get, I'm going to get away from my job. You know what you need to get away from is the crap in here. So what I do is I go through and just start to show them the mindset stuff. It's how you talk about yourself, the thoughts you have about yourself. We did an exercise on the weekend where we had people throw out their garbage. And literally, we had them write down the worst thing they thought about themselves on a piece of paper.
So this is an exercise, guys.
Yep.
Let's do it. Everybody who's watching is going to write down on a piece of paper what?
So on a piece of paper, you write down. We had them write down their name.
Yeah.
Then we had them write down their garbage, the worst thought you have about yourself.
All right.
Then we had everybody form a line, and I brought out a garbage can.
That's powerful. And
everybody walked up to the garbage can, said their name and their garbage, and threw it out.
Out loud, right?
Out loud.
Out loud. Hey Ryan, great to see you here, Mr. Wise Ryan Radin. Powerful. That's a good one. Yeah. And I mean, it's these neural pathways that are just constantly being formed as we double down on our negative self-talk. And we got to interrupt that. Interrupt it, man. Interrupt it.
Yep.
You know?
Another great thing I would do every morning is get up, as soon as you get up, write down 3 things that you're grateful for and 3 things you were successful at the day before. And successes doesn't mean I got the promotion or I got the big raise or I got the new car. Successful is like, I've literally written, I made my bed. I made dinner for my wife and I. I took out the garbage. Like these little things, because sometimes it's a huge experience that's really screwed you up here, but sometimes it's a lot of just little things picking away at your self-esteem, picking away at your worth, picking away at your love for yourself. And so that's what I started doing in this self-help journey. And I spent a lot of time alone. Don't be afraid to be alone. All this social media stuff, we think we're connected, and in some ways we do make connections. I got 1,700 friends, and I probably have met 200 of them. Maybe.
And you're here in Toronto chatting with me. Good stuff.
But that's the one thing I always find weird about Facebook is that it terms everyone as friends. Like people have
versus
never
acquaintances or
like LinkedIn, it's connections.
Which is a better word for it.
Because I mean.
But I will say to people, use your Facebook or your social media for good. Use it for positivity. Use it to, I really believe, use it
always
to
use your power for good.
Exactly. Use your power for good. But there's a lot of crap that people are putting out, and I'm like, edit that. Edit the crap, and just really double down on, if you're going to use the social media, which is how I use it, is to absolutely promote positivity, create positive connections, and really be just totally, absolutely edited about that, and not do in any way gossip or negativity. I feel that improves the entire experience. Hey Scott, thanks for joining us. I mean the experience. Oh, and Nadia says, oh my God, number 1, yes, monitor your thoughts full time. Yeah, because if you can track it, you can change it. That's what I say. If you can track what it is you're saying or thinking about yourself, that is where you have the opportunity to actually change it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
And also unhook. Like the one thing I do a lot of is the interruption piece with the neural pathway. Is you see that you're hooked in guilt, shame, fear, all those limiting. Start with self-compassion and then unhook. Literally see meat hooks in you. Those things are meat hooks, and then get your thumbs in and unhook that and interrupt that. It's the only journey out. I mean, monitor them. And then unhook from them, and then change it up. And Linda says, most times that's the critic's voice, and it's not our voice. It is others' voice we accept as truth, and then take on as our own, frankly.
Yeah, a lot of voices I've had in my head from time to time, they've sounded like exes, they've sounded like teachers, they've sounded like former bosses, they've sounded like, and it's just, we take that stuff and we just hold on to it, like just as like...
we ingest it.
Yeah, and it's so important for us to get our thinking straight about ourselves. Like, the next time you say "I can't," instead phrase it "How can I?" That's a huge one, right? There's so many different techniques. There's so many different ways, and it comes down to how you feel about yourself. Because when you're at your best, is when you absolutely you should be falling madly, deeply, hopelessly in love with yourself.
And that's not narcissism. I think that's actual positive self-care. That's positive self-care.
I'm at a point in my life where I can literally look anyone in the eye and say, I'm amazing. I'm an incredible human being full of light and power and energy, and I make this world a better place.
How amazing.
But I'm not better than you, and I'm not worse than you.
I love that. Can you say it again? Right over there. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
No, you're amazing.
You're amazing.
Yes, you're amazing. Yeah.
So it's
and nobody's better than you. You're also amazing. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. And who told you can't come back? Who told you can't do great things? Who told you can't accomplish everything you want in your life? I have a goal list that 3 people have read my goal list. One looked at it and they looked up at me and said, I'm tired. I get tired just looking at this list. The other person looked at me and said, yeah, okay. And the third person to read my goal list looked up at me with tears in their eyes and said, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I married her.
Oh, and that's your wife. What's your wife's first name?
Heather.
Hey, Heather, you got a good one here. And I really believe in a long-term passionate marriage. We've been in one for about 25 years, so it's
awesome.
Yeah. We started young, and we were able to create really positive, passionate, committed connection.
That's awesome.
And it feels good, feels wonderful. But I will say that when you said, who says you can't do this and that and the other? Well, a lot of people come up in families in which they're told they can't, that they shouldn't, and that they need to not believe in themselves. So those are searing cutting.
So always remember this in life. If you do something good in your life, if you do something positive, make a huge change, a huge impact, guess what it does? It does 2 things. One, you've changed, so by you changing, obviously your relationship to the other person is changing. If one person changes in the relationship, obviously their connections change somehow. The other thing is, they have... Do you mind colorful language?
Oh, swear, man. People know I swear.
The other thing is, if you do something with your life, if you get in the best shape of your life, if you go back to school and get a degree, if you start your own business and kill it and crush it, guess what? That person looks at you and says, I don't have any more fucking excuses.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can look this up. There's a woman, a black woman, you can Google her right now, 82-year-old bodybuilder.
Oh, that woman, she's amazing.
She's in insane shape.
I
There's
know.
a guy who's like 70-something, and he's a competitor, and he started at like 48.
Love it.
That's the other thing people don't get in their heads. They think like, oh, time's gone by. What am I going to do? Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken, he went out and started KFC when he was 65. He retired from the insurance business.
But he did the planet no favors, man.
Well,
however, different perspective, yeah. No, the guy just decided to start something at 65 and do something cool. And
superheroes. Superheroes, which is my whole jam.
Yeah, right.
All those superheroes you see in the movies, Spider-Man and Iron Man, the Hulk,
you love all that
stuff.
Yeah.
Stan Lee Stan Lee created Spider-Man when he was in his 40s.
Love it.
He wasn't some 16-year-old kid with a pen and a book in his bedroom at his parents' house. At 45, he created Spider-Man. If you think it's too late, you're wrong. If you think you are too out of shape to try something new, you're wrong. If you think you're too dumb, you're wrong. If you think you can't, good God, stop thinking like that, because you can. You can do so many cool things with this amazing life that you've been given.
I love your energy. This is so amazing. What is your, hey Violeta, how is your enthusiasm? I'm sure you have down days. I'm sure you have down moments.
Yeah, there's some kryptonite in the air from one time.
For sure, man. Because this is not about the unrealistic concept that we don't have down moments, but it's not about the down moments, because everyone has them. But what is the first step out of the down moment? I have my versions of what I tell people about. What's yours? First step out of it. They're monitoring their thoughts, but they're still feeling like shit, and they're feeling like they can't get the fuck out of their depressive, self-pitying moment. Now what? So
I'm
putting you on the spot big time.
No. It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind. Superheroes always have to be ready to change, and we always have to be ready to help.
Get in that phone book. Phone booth and change. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what I would advise you, if you're having a down day, is just...
Or down moment in your life. Or life is getting you down and things are not going as well as you would like them to go.
I highly recommend mantras. I highly recommend goals lists.
Affirmations, mantras, goals lists. Don't just sit in your shit.
Yeah. Grant Cardone is the guy I go to for all my goals list stuff, and he says, he's like, write it down and write down your goals, huge and epic. And every time you can talk to anybody who's ever worked with him, when he was worth, I don't know, a few $100,000, like from when he was dirt poor to now he's worth $500 million, I think he's worth now. And he's
what's his name?
Grant Cardone. He's all about sales.
Okay.
But he's a machine, and he's always, whenever he gets stuck, he grabs a pad of paper, writes down his goals, and says them out loud.
Ooh, keeps him accountable.
That's the other thing, too, is once you speak to the universe and speak to God or whatever you feel it is going to come back to you. And be precise.
That's right.
Good God, I learned that lesson. I once wrote
me too.
A lot of you people probably know a good friend of mine. He's one of my mentors, James McNeil.
Yeah.
And I wrote down in 2017 one of my goals, and I said it to James, is I'm going to share a stage with you one day. And what I meant in my head was I was going to be up there in the Hero Mission swag doing my speech, and him and I are part of this huge event, and my room's packed, and everything's right. And that's what I'm thinking in my head. And all I said is, I'm going to be on stage with you this year. And I was at an event, and James needed a volunteer to demonstrate verbal Aikido, and he knows I've studied martial arts a lot, so he asked me on stage. And the universe was like, okay, you're on stage with James.
What you really meant was...
Yeah. Holy crap, be precise, be direct, and see, when you have a sense of self-love, you understand that you can have amazing, beautiful, incredible things happen to you. So the end of my journey for self-love, and I talk about this in my book, Invisible Capes, is I'm in my Tai Chi class. Yeah. And here's a question for you. When you close your eyes, what do you see?
Like right now? Oh, maybe some little bit of darkness and maybe a couple of sparkles here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever I've done Tai Chi, and you're gonna, my Tai Chi instructor and other people in my class have always asked me about this, is whenever I do Tai Chi and I get really into the forms, I close my eyes. When I close my eyes and it's dark, and then I start flowing through the forms.
Yes.
And the next thing I know, there's this flooding light that appears behind my eyes. And I haven't been able to really, because most people want, like a lot of people I do Tai Chi with, they're doing it for the exercise or the, I can't do triathlon because I'm out of shape, so I'll do Tai Chi because it's, slower and easier. Whatever. Which is false, actually, if you study Tai Chi. But anyways, so I do this whole big months and months and months of trying to find my self-love and my self-worth, and I'm going through all this stuff, walking on glass and doing these like silence retreats on my own and reading and writing and just really getting into the core of me. And so I'm in this Tai Chi class, and I'm going through the form like usual and just flowing through, and the light appears in my eye, behind my eyelids. And as I'm starting to really flow into the form, and I'm just in the moment, I'm not thinking about the past. There is no past. There is no future. There's just right now.
Right now, yes.
And the light takes form behind my eyes. And it turns into a pure white version of me. Like I don't know how far out this is going to be for some people.
Not far out at all. I'm a holistic psychotherapist. I'm a Reiki master. I do polarity therapy. I see all kinds of stuff when I'm doing energy work. So what you're talking about is you're doing energy work, and what's happening is that your third eye is opening, and you are getting, a reflection of you in that moment because you're opening up all of your chakras and all of your energy centers.
Yeah. So I had this moment, and I saw myself as this being of light, and I saw my soul, for better lack of word.
Right. There you go. That's
and it was beautiful and amazing, and at that moment I realized I am worthy and I can do amazing things, and there's I'm a beautiful, beautiful child of God, and this is incredible. And so that was on a Monday night, and the next night I met my wife again. I ran into my wife and we went on our first date that week.
Wow. That's making me cry a little bit.
It was intense. It actually broke me. I saw this energy form, and I could just feel like Niagara Falls coming down my face. And I opened my eyes, and my Tai Chi instructor and like 3 other people were like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. No, but what you did is something that anyone I do. As I said, I do energy work. I work with people's energies, physically and esoterically. And what you're doing is you're essentially touching the soul of your being. And when you do that, which you can through meditation, through mantras, through Tai Chi, through Reiki, through any one of those things, what ends up really occurring is we shift our vibration. We completely go from that dense, fearful, not, self-loathing vibration to, really understanding who we truly are, what we truly are. And we are not this meat jacket. We are this soul.
Yeah.
And we can touch that, and the soul essentially aligns us with what our highest purpose is and our highest being is. And that's what I think what you've done and what you're doing.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, and it's just from there. I'm like,
hang on one second. Let me just read a couple of people's messages here. So Ryan Radin, sometimes when people think they're putting you down, they do not realize that their curses could be blessing you instead, since they could be the fuel that you need to take action. I love that. Carla Preston, hey Victoria, and I love that the light takes form. And nice to see you, Paulina, as well. And Ryan, you had another bigger message. A good reminder about self-love. Violetta says, thank you both. We're so happy that we're doing this, eh? This moment is really
a lot of fun.
This is a precious moment. I want to read. I can't read them here in. Let's see here. I know what I'm going to do. Yes. And I wanted to read Ryan Radin. It always is very, very wise, and he had written a deeper, thicker one. But later on, we will be able to. But right now, while it's live, we can't see it.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Exactly. We're going to start to wrap up our talk. What I would like is for you to tell everyone, because you're really inspiring. You're really an inspiring speaker, and you're you're a guy's guy, but you've got a very feminine and very, you're very balanced in that regard. I can really feel that balance in you, and it's always nice to see that in a person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to have you tell people about where they can find you. Hi, Anne. Hey, Joanne. We've had lots of really great people come on. They want to hear about you, so that's awesome. Tell where they can find you. What's the book Invisible Capes, where they can find that. Maybe when your next event is. How they can contact you to work with you if they want to. Talk to the people.
All right. So my book is called Invisible Capes, A Guide to Unleashing Your Superpowers Within.
Invisible Capes. I love it. It's on
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Yep. You can also order it through my website.
Which
my website's theheromission.com.
Theheromission.com.
Yeah. I just wrapped up a huge event we did Saturday, and we are starting to plan our next one, so keep an eye out for that.
Elevate, right?
We did Elevate Your Life.
Yeah.
It was a hero, yeah. So I'm not sure if we'll call the next one Elevate Your Life, but we'll definitely keep these kind of things going.
Right.
The feedback we got was amazing.
Yeah.
We pushed people, we helped people, and sometimes...
What I love about the work you're doing, what I love about the work I'm doing is that we're looking to really heal the planet, change the world, change people's minds, one room at a time, one person at a time.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing. That's why I feel like we're aligned in that regard. That's why we're here together now today.
Yeah.
That's what's happening,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So my Tai Chi instructor, Mr. Bally, and I have talked many times about that. The only reason any of us are here is to help and heal each other.
That's what we're doing here. I'm passionate about that, and use our gifts in those ways. So theheromission.com,
Yep.
Invisible Capes, you can find it on Amazon.
Yep.
And they can contact you through the Hero Mission. Is that right?
Yep, it's Mike at theheromission.com. I've got I got my superhero blueprint up there. I've got some coaching packages. I've got, if you're interested in having me come speak to somebody,
You do speaking as well as coaching.
Yeah, I've spoken internationally a couple times, and I do a lot of. I really love talking to a crowd and engaging a big audience.
And I can see how you'd be super, super engaging.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a talk together on stage one time.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Dynamic energies.
Yeah, I have a very short list of people that. Well, not a short list, but I have a list of people that I will work with at my events, because when you put on your own event and you have all these other speakers, I don't want anything else to worry about. I want, like, okay, these people, I know they've got a good message. I know
Sure.
they come from a good place.
Yeah,
I know that they represent, like,
Mm-hmm.
my brand's at the forefront of this event, so I have to make sure. So,
Yes.
yeah, so you're definitely on that list.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's
You're
great.
very welcome.
So everybody, listen, keep having courageous conversations with yourself and others. That's the way out of a lot of the darkness that may be happening for you. So make sure you check out my closed group, which is Courageous Conversations, which is a place where you can get some support, a place where you are able to just lay out your courageous deeds and also your fears, and the world is going to to help in that group. You were going to say, you put your
I was going to say, so these are live
commentaries.
comments we're
Yes,
seeing here?
exactly.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, the first person to type in their favorite superhero, I would give you a free superhero blueprint.
Oh, look at that. So the first person to type here your favorite superhero.
Yep.
Mike is going to give you a free blueprint.
It's called the Superhero
The
Blueprint.
superhero blueprint. Come on, let's have you right. We're late in the game on this one, maybe, but hopefully someone will write it because that'll
Awesome.
be cool. I want you to know that the planet needs you. The planet. Oh, Ryan Raiden, Blue Marvel.
Okay.
Is that a superhero?
I don't know who Blue Marvel is.
But he was the first one, yes. No, type down your favorite superhero. Everybody, now!
There you go. Paulina for the win.
Okay, Aquaman! Okay, cool. Awesome.
Oh,
awesome.
Jason Momoa. He's everyone's favorite superhero.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's not, we're not playing here, eh, Paulina, baby? What I want to say is, yeah, so Paulina Caliendo and Mike Pickett, you guys will converse, okay? And you guys can tee up on that.
And Ryan, if you can send me a message that explains who Blue Marvel is, I'd really, really love to figure out who Blue Marvel is.
It's a superhero for Ryan, maybe. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Aqua,
So-
yeah.
Aqua, yeah. Nice, Paulina. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you know what? Ryan's going to be he's going to be challenging you on this, man.
All right.
Okay,
All right,
so
we'll take a look.
We'll take a look. Okay, so what Mike is going to do is every single comment we had a ton of engagement. You're gonna communicate with each single person. Okay.
Yeah.
When you leave here, you're gonna sit down and go, I'm gonna communicate with each and every comment so that everyone can have an individual moment with you, just responding to whatever comment.
Thanks, Ryan. I saw it. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a long drive home, so.
You're not driving though. You're on the GO train, right?
Subway, GO train, and then the truck. So.
Unbelievably wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, Courageous Conversations. I'm going to come at you again next week with another Courageous Conversation. Mike Pickett can be found at theheromission.com. Invisible Capes is his book. And this was just so fantastic. Okay?
Awesome. So
fantastic. Check out his website. Check out Courageous Conversations, the group, the page, the YouTube channel. Get in there, people. It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for this planet, and it's why we're doing it. Okay. I just want to send everyone the message of love, peace, and self-compassion, and unhook from the crap. Keep having courageous conversations with yourself and others, and that's where it's going to change. Take care, everybody. Take care. All right. We are in.